Okay.
It's it's on.
Hi, you're again with Volleyball Explained Podcast, and our edition talking about the Champions League this time because the final has been played on the 1st of May and ZAKSA became champion of Europe for very first time, beating the team of Trento 3-1. And this is going to be our first topic to talk about with Nicola, the sad Trentino boy, and Ronnie, the I don't know
I'm
what
fine.
is the Cuban attitude towards this
I
match. But
I don't know.
anyway,
I don't know what is the Cuban attitude, but I'm sad too because I lost money on that. So yeah. If Nicola wants to start talking about this match,
I will leave the ground to you guys. I will just listen.
well, we some people can say that this was one of the most disappointing performance of the Trentino team because ZAKSA for many people wasn't the favorite to win this final, and well, after review the performance of ZAKSA in the Champions League, I disagree a little bit because they win over big teams and teams that had more budget for anyone in the Plus Liga, and a team like Lube Civitanova and of course Zenit Kazan, and they stand there in the final without no fear and without thinking that they can be the underdogs. You know, they just play the game and go with the flow. You know, so let's say that Trentino play well the first half of the sets, but they couldn't close, they couldn't finish, and this is one of the many problems that we have talked in this podcast through the season. The 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 no let me put it that this way. Trentino never found his shape. They sometimes win 5 and 4 matches, something like that, but then fall apart in the big decisions. So I don't know if Nicola agrees or not. Maybe as Trentino fan, you told me in a conversation past few days that for you it wasn't a disappointment season because you reached at least one final. And well, I take in the consideration that for me, with the budget they spent this season and with 0 trophies, for me was a disappointment. So yeah, that's my old speech.
Well, actually, you asked me if it was the worst season ever of Trento. I told you not. Because, yeah, they spent a lot of money and they should have at least won, if not won, at least fight till the end for a trophy. But they spend money to reduce the gap. I mean, I will consider it a fully disappointment if they were already on the level of Lube and Perugia and they spent money and they eventually lost. But actually, the money they spent was to basically reduce the gap. And if you look at it, in the past few seasons, Trento basically lost every game they played against Lube and Perugia. This year, at least, they fought. It was worth nothing at the end of the season because they go home empty-handed. But I mean, it's also it's difficult to not to be disappointed, but also if you look at it in a rational way, I mean, if everything has to comes down to one game, you may win or you may lose. It's not like they were inferior to Lube in the Italian competition, and in the European competition they lost the final. It will be highly disappointed if I don't know, if they will be sent off in the group stage or in the quarterfinal. Like that, it's still disappointing, of course, because they didn't win, but not so much.
I also predicted that Trentino will win. maybe as a slight favorite, not as a highly regarded favorite, but still, I believe that this match was very interesting from a tactical perspective, especially taking into account the viewpoint of Trento. Because if you look at the statistics and see what the reception of the team was, it's totally significant. Let's say it in this way: that in the difference between the first and the second set, and the third and the fourth set, where Alessandro Micheletto played, the difference in terms of percentage in reception is from 15 to 25% better with Micheletto at the court than with Coy. And it is no surprise that actually Trento won the third set with this reception, because Micheletto was absolutely monstrous in reception, especially of jump strong serves, and he eased and made it a lot easier for Giannelli to organize the game with that kind of reception, and it was totally different with Coy on the field. So it could be a little bit harsh thinking firstly about Trento, but I would say that with Micheletto starting, Trentino would have had the chance to win the match and to win the Champions League. Of course, this is pretty much of a speculation because there is no if, but there was this period between maybe end of February, March, and April where Micheletto form was down. So in comparison to December and January, where he was absolutely brilliant, and in this match he showed that he was actually more to his form from the winter and not that from the last 3 months. So I believe that this was a mistake of Lorenzetti starting not with Micheletto but with Coy. Talking about the winners from ZAKSA, firstly we should note the unbelievable match Alexander Slivka, the MVP of the match, unarguably played. 67% in attack, and but only 40% in reception. With the other outside hitter, Kamil Semeniuk, with the reverse figures in reception and attack. So better reception and lower figures in attack. So in set 3, the statistics shows that Slivka attacked only 2 times. So the consequence could be very simple in this in this case. So when Slivka is attacking less, Trentino had a better chance to win. So Trento just needed in this specific match to make Slivka attack less, and they didn't do it because in the fourth set, Slivka attacked, I believe, something like 8 or 9 times for the whole set, and ZAKSA won the fourth set, and we did the match too. So, of course, we should take into account the game of all of the ZAKSA players, especially Tuniotihu, who distributed the attacks very evenly with 24 for Slivka, 25 for Semeniuk, and 32 for the opposite Lukasz Kaczmarek. But still, Zatorski played again on a very high level. So I believe ZAKSA deservedly won this match, but still, I believe that Trento could have done better with Micheletto starting and probably a little bit different tactics in terms of direction of serve, but it's very easy to talk after the match. And so we have a saying Bulgaria here that after let's say it's not after the crash or after the car is broken, it's easy to talk, and there are a lot of ways. So ZAKSA won deservedly, but Trento could have done better. Do you want to add something about this one, about my considerations and probably to have an argument with me about this?
Watching the numbers, the official numbers from the old SEF website, and comparing it to one team with another, we see that only ZAKSA only did 3 points more than Trentino. And well, in the all aspects of the game, of course, you can see the defense work from ZAKSA, and I think this one of the key things that ZAKSA managed well, especially with Satorsky and the others outside hitters, and we often see this aspect of the game being underrated, and I think this is important because when you see for people that didn't watch the game and they say, well, the numbers are almost the same. What happened then? You can see the defense number, and this is important, or the times that, let's see, middle blockers or players from ZAKSA touch the ball in the block. So this is also another thing to have in the consideration. For example, Lucarelli was set the ball 23 times, and he only make 11 points. So this means that he got blocked 3 times, missed 2 balls. But what happened with the other sets? This means that or he delivered the ball, a free ball, or he was defensed by the other team. So this can be an interesting study for those you over the community of the volleyball to discuss why people don't show the defense stats. And yes, this is pretty much it.
Yeah, I believe this is one of the deficiencies of the stats, which is presented in the SEF of the website of the European Volleyball Confederation, because you don't have the information about how many balls have been played in defense and the percentage of the counterattacks which have been or successful after that defenses. So this is very important, especially in a match where a team with a very good defense plays, because I believe that in his shape now, Zatorsky is the best libero in the world in terms of defense, maybe even better than Grebennikov. Maybe Grebennikov is better in reception and covering more of the court, covering his teammates in reception. But I believe that Zatorsky is the best in defense at the moment.
And you know this, Bogdan, you know this because you saw the type of serve that a man like Nimir had or made in that game, and you saw almost the perfect reception that Satorsky did over the entire, let's see, first, second, and maybe fourth sets. So this was a crucial thing that we often discuss, because people only see the men who scored the points, but never see the people behind the creation of the entire play. The play comes from the reception and then goes to the attack and go on. But I think in the future people have to watch more the liberos of the people who make defense, that we often underrated so much.
Yeah, for sure, because if you don't have this libero or receivers, the attackers are not going to have the ball in decent situations, so it won't matter for them. Maybe just to mention also the female final, because it was a pretty dramatic match between and we didn't expect anything different from that between Imoco Imoco Volley Conegliano and Vakifbank, with Imoco Volley winning in a tiebreak, but a really interesting match between, for sure, between the two best teams in the world now, and battles between the opposites Paola Egonu and Isabel Haag. And I would like also to mention this thing because I don't think I like it. Out of 166 balls attacked by Conegliano, Egonu attacked 71. This is almost, I don't know, 40 or something percent.
So
Yeah.
So you can say that it was Vakifbank versus Paola Egonu, and it is
Or Haag against Egonu. I don't know. 78 attacks out of 168 were spiked by Haag for Vakifbank. So almost, I don't know, 46% of all attacks spiked in the match were spiked by Egonu and Haag. And you couldn't say that, of course, that Conegliano and Vakifbank don't have enough quality in position 4 or in the middle. I don't know, because they have Kimberly Hill and Adams or Silla at outside hitters, and Barch and Gabi Guimaraes or Ismail Ugu in Vakifbank. Yes, of course, Egonu is a phenomenon, and Haag is also great, but I don't like this kind of volleyball, and my let's say detail problem is that okay, if the reception is not good, if it's a hard defended ball and it is on the 5th, 6th meter, of course the most normal thing to do for Joanna Volosh is to set the ball to Egonu or Ognjenovic to Haag and wait for a successful spike. But a lot of times you had a perfect reception and they make the same and the same and the same again and again and again. And I don't understand this type of attitude. I don't understand. Okay, I just don't like it. Maybe after the result for Conegliano is a win and a title, a triumph. Yeah, you don't judge the winners, but I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Well, sorry, Nicola, you want to say something about it?
Yeah, just about the consideration that Bogdan did. I have my personal opinion about the fact that when you're in a final, the ball has to go to the player who could score points, because there's no tomorrow. I mean, whatever the reception is, I will always set the ball, even if it's not a clear, I don't know, open field for the middle blockers, or you see that the outside hitter is paired with the opposite setter. I will always set the ball to the one that it's more likely to score points. So yeah, maybe with the two super teams that were on the field, you could have expected some different plays. But at the end, scoring points was what mattered most. And they gave the ball to the two players who are most likely to do that. Just did. That's my opinion. I mean, I would like to see a team play or a team playing with all their effectives. But you could see it maybe in the regular season, or when the score is something that you can handle. In a set like that, in the final, just give the ball to the one who could score more points. That's just my take.
Well, sorry, yeah. Let me tell you something. You know that in women volleyball, we usually see more defense and better reception skills, because without offending anyone, the game is more slower, and you don't have the same amount of power that you see in men volleyball. So that rallies, in main rallies, go fast, maybe 8 seconds, maybe less. In rare occasions, we see a rally reaching the 50 seconds. And well, in women volleyball is different. You have the ball in the air more time than usually you see, and of course, even if Ojenovic and Wolos serve more the ball to the respective opposite, when we see the numbers, we see also that they set a decent amount of balls to the outside hitters and the centers, middle blockers, sorry. But I don't know, and as I mentioned, because of the characteristics of the women volleyball, none of the outside hitters were capable of doing some real damage. I'm talking about Hill, I'm talking about Mackenzie, Adams, I'm talking about maybe, what is the... Bart Hackley. I mean, Bart Hackley and Gabby did a double-digit performance. Milian Silla wasn't good. Yeah. She was substituted in the after the first set. So, but yeah, I mean, Egonu and Hack didn't play perfect, you know. But when like I told you in your group, Volleyball Explained in Facebook, doing 40 points or more and having effectiveness in attack of 55% in women volleyball, that's incredible. You can set all the balls you want, she will deliver. Not so much for Hack, who made only 40%, and she was the most fitted player in the court of Vakifbank. I mean, let's say, I think in the tiebreak, Ojenovic made a huge mistake in some sets that cost Vakif the title, because I believe that Vakifbank play more as a team and not Conegliano. Conegliano should set the ball to the best player they have, arguably one of the top 3 players in the world, and make the magic happen. So yeah, congratulations to Imoco, because they ended the season with 0 defeats, and this is a thing that maybe people don't really care, because they say, but they have a decent team. And let me tell you something: Real Madrid or other teams in the history of the sports had decent team and didn't win shit. So sorry for the word, but it is what it is. So this is a thing of being constant, you know, being capable of winning even the game with the most worst team in the table, to not give anything away or easy. So yes, 64 victories, perfect season. So, and I think this will be a record for the ages. So in the history of the volleyball.
Actually, I think
this
that
is for sure. Yeah.
No, I think that at Vakifbank itself, between 2000, I've read it something, so I'm not sure about the seasons, but Vakifbank should have won something like almost 80 games in a row. So it's not a record now.
But in a row, but in a season,
it's not. It's not set 64 in a season. It's 64 in a row, considering half of the season, half of the 2019-2020 season.
We are taking that. We are saying that. I mean, in the entire season, they didn't lose one game. So
exactly.
This can be considered a record. Now, I don't know if they keep the momentum high, and in September or October, when the season starts, they keep winning too. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think it's pretty possible that break the record of Vakif at some point. I don't know.
Okay, let's go back again to Italy men, and this time talking about transfers, because we had this not very pleasant news that I wouldn't say falling apart, but Trentino needs to sell Nimir and Lucarelli, and again, I'm giving Nicola the possibility to explain.
Yeah, we couldn't see that. We didn't see it coming. I mean, we've been commented something like that for the past 2 months. That Trento is a team that always had a look on the budget. And this year they tried to build a more expensive team, and they were pretty unlucky with the circumstances of the pandemic because the entire team was built before the start of the pandemic. And then they have to carry the wages in a season where you don't have the income of game days, tickets, and everything that is around a match. I think that the loss in the Champions League final accelerated the process of rebuilding. Probably with a win, the mood would have been something like, we got a winning side, let's hold on, just sell a player, maybe renegotiate the wages with the others, and try to keep the core of the team for the upcoming season. After the loss, the disappointment was tangible, and probably they thought that it's not worth it. The risk is too high, and they start to rebuild the team. I wouldn't say from the basis, but almost, because there have been no official statement yet as concerned selling players, buying new ones, but it's pretty clear that Trento will sell most of the starting lineup, from Lucarelli to Nimir, probably Lisinath, probably Giannelli, probably Rossini. So they will build a team, a roster of youngsters with some experienced players, probably Kaziski and maybe Podrashanin if he stays in Trento, with the goal to develop a core group for the future and fight for a playoff spot. Mosna himself said that he's also looking for someone who could possibly progressively take over the team. He has been the main the main man for Trento in the past 20 years. He says that he could not do it for the next 20s, so he's probably looking for a solution like that. And I agree with that. I mean, in the past 15 years, we've seen so many teams disappear during the season after season. Parma, Roma, Cuneo, Sisley Treviso, the old Piacenza, Montichiari, Ravenna itself. They don't know if the next season they will be in the Superlega or they will be start from the Serie A2. So we'll see. Actually, I'm pretty thrilled to see what they build with the lower budget and how they could handle the highly probable loss of Giannelli. And because I don't think that Giannelli will be in Trento next year. I think that he will leave. But how can I say, they have to find a political way to make that acceptable for the fans, because Mosna doesn't want to be the one to blame for that divorce, and Giannelli neither. He doesn't want to look like the captain that jump off the boat or I don't know, or leave the team in the difficulties. But I think that he has to move if he wants to improve, and probably Perugia will be a perfect landing spot for him.
Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I want to say again Stoichev Kaziski, and maybe for a very last time, not maybe, but for a very last time in Trento as a combination, because I have the feeling that Lorenzetti won't stay also. So yeah. So we were talking even internally in our chat that Matei's possibility, and yesterday evening I saw in Volleyball that Kaziski in Trento is only to be officialized, and I was surprised because it was just a speculation for now. So only to be officialized is one step further to what I let's say not dream of, but I want to see again. And it's very interesting how things are developed here, and just in the same line of considerations, I believe. I don't know why, but I believe that Giannelli will stay. I don't know. Well, maybe it's not practical or not feasible to think it, but I believe that Giannelli will stay.
Actually, what people say here in Trentino is that they built the team of this season with the precise goal to keep Giannelli, to convince him to stay in the team and to be part of a side that could have possibly been winning one. So if you dismantle the team, for as much as Giannelli loved Trento because it's the team that raised him, that gave him the chances to be a professional, I actually don't see the reason why it should be in a team that will probably fight for the spots from 5th to 8th, or hopefully not worse, actually. And while he could go to a side like Perugia that will try to win every title that they will compete for. So, I mean, I would be glad if he decided to stay, because if he leaves, Trento also has to find another setter, and I don't know what the option could be. But I have that feeling that at the end of the season they will split ways. It's how it works, and maybe it's also time for him to find a new challenge. And as I told you, under Gerbic in Perugia, he could learn a lot from such an experienced former setter, and Diver, it will be more, how can I say, with Perugia, with Giannelli, could also be something good for the Superlega itself. It will be a side that, along with Lube and Modena, will give everything till the end of the season.
Mentioning Perugia, in the last podcast we talked about the transfers very a lot of in detail. So just to mention that Matt Anderson is still not officialized in Perugia and Zaitsev not officialized in Lube, and maybe these are going to be the two biggest transfers about which we're going to talk later.
Don't forget Lucarelli in the Lube Civitan.
Yeah. And so where is Nimir going to go? Because this is also a thing that could be discussed. There are some speculations about Modena, but I'm not sure how they're going to go then with
the Italians.
2 Italians on the field. Probably if they take again Rossini, then they were going to have Leao, Bruno, Ngapet, and Nimir with Rossini, Stankovic, who has an Italian passport,
Mazzone,
which is, let's say it in this way, but it's a rape of the system, and Mazzone. So I don't, in principle, this passport of Stankovic was taken by him. I know that he's playing for 100 years in Italy, but this passport was taken only for this purpose. So not because he's going to play in the Italian national team like Koi played, for example.
Well,
Koi married an Italian woman. Sorry.
Yeah.
Koi got the passport also because he married an Italian woman. So while Stankovic get it just because he, as you say, he's been there since the Middle Ages. So
I think that Nimir will reduce his salary, but still he win a considerable amount of money. He knows that if he goes to Modena, he will not be the star in that team. That thing will be discussed between Bruno, Leal, and Ngape, who will be the face of the franchise of Modena next year. And like Nicola said in the past few programs, I don't know where the monies come from a team that didn't have money this previous season to invest in anything. And if we have the consideration of this year, we didn't have crowd in the halls. That is well. I mean I have I want to I don't want to be the person who point fingers to anyone, but it is what it is. Unless your sponsor is Gazprom or some big brand from Europe, this is very suspicious. But it is what it is. Modena made it. They have the money to invest at least one season, because we all know what happened when a big team is created. They disappear the season after because they can keep up with the salaries and all the stuff. But yes, Modena will be. I mean, I hope they feel the shoes that they are stepping on, and try to do something with the duology that Perugia and Lube have from several years ago. So yes, let's see.
When we talk about transfers, of course, we need to mention that according to Volleyball, it's Nishida, our friend, is also only to be officialized in Vibo. So
he suffered an injury. He suffered an injury,
yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna happen. They will have to see first what is going on with his ankle. I mean, he have he braced his ankle, but I don't know what is the grade of the injury, because if it's grade 1 with rest for 2 weeks, I mean you can be on the court soon. But if he broke the ligaments of the ankle, that will keep him at least for 4 months, and maybe we'll have to go under a surgery. Let's see what Japan Volleyball Federation says about that.
I read something that he's going to be able to play in the Olympics for sure, but this probably means that he will miss the VNL, which is a shame for sure.
Yeah, for what is worth the VNL actually. So
yeah.
I mean,
no, I mean you can say what is worth the VNL, but what is worth the Japan team, because they rely too much in this player, to achieve something. They have also Kunihiro Shimizu, that has been a part of the Japan national team for many years, but it's not the same. Shimizu had a big serious injury in the past when he was playing on his league, and is old, so he can be. I mean, I don't say that with Nishida, Japan could be a great team in the Olympics or the VNL, but they will suffer this loss for sure.
Yeah, he's old. He's one year older than Nicole, so.
Let's not talk about the age here. So
just to mention some further transfers that have been officialized after we talked the last time. Grosser to Monza, Brizard, the French setter, to Piacenza, where he's going to play with Lagumgia, with Trossard, with Russell. So this is going to be a very decent team, fighting for top 4, I believe, for the next season, at least in terms of names. And some transfers outside of Italy, because actually not fully outside, because Mika Christensen from Modena is going to Zenit Kazan. Dmitry Volkov, the Russian outside hitter, the international Russian outside hitter, will play in Zenit Kazan also. And for example, Alexander Butko, the setter of Zenit so far, is going to play in Kuzbas, and the setter of Kuzbas, Igor Kobzar, another international Russian player, will go to Zenit St. Petersburg. So there is a significant switch and swap of setters in Russia in some way.
Another not so big transfer, but interesting one, is that Francesco Recine is appointed to be in Piacenza next season, and of course our Rookie of the Year by some people, Eddie Lucky, will play in Padova next season. So yeah, we also have maybe, just maybe, Daniele Sottile from Cisterna going to Lube Civitanova as a backup setter. In case it's not official. It's not official. So just some rumors that have been in the cloud, and of course we can skip this part without talking about Alex Grozdanov, the middle blocker of Bulgaria, and one of the big names in the future for this country. Is going to be Vero Volley Monza, which is, I think, a good news for Bulgaria fans, taking the consideration that Monza is a medium table team, at least better than Ravenna, which was a rookie team, let's say it that way, a team of developing players. But I think Vero Volley Monza will be a good challenge for this player.
He will also play in the CV Cup, so
I would say that this is the right thing to do, because he needs to play, and even though I believe that even he had this possibility to go even to a better team, it's better to make this step into a medium team, and this hopefully after that to a top 4 team, let's say, if possible, because he needs to play now. And I believe that in Monza he's going to be a regular player and not a substitute. So still he's going to have competition in probably Beretta and Galassi, but I believe that he's going to be a starter there.
I envisioning Alex Grozdanov if he follows that path that you just mentioned. Maybe next season or in 2 seasons in a team like Perugia, for example, when they say goodbye to Soler, maybe, and they have to look the market to hire a good middle blocker who is able to not only blocking but also attack. I really want to see if he can improve in the serve, because I think he have the potential to serve at least like let's say Binek, who is not a good John server, but he still managed to deliver some quality serves in the court. So
he's hybriding the serve. So this is the thing of. Who's the serve of Bieniek is typical with that. It is a hybrid serve. So
another things maybe will be Marco Falasci heading to Perugia, just rumors at this point. Daniel Lavia maybe going to Trentino. I don't know where the money will come from, but maybe this is an option, a cheaper option. And also
it's not like they don't have money. They're reducing the team, but they're not selling the bus to pay people. I mean, to get someone like Lavia, it is not that expensive.
And also, Lorenzo Codarin, one of the middle blockers, he was playing in Cuneo this season in Serie A2. Maybe he can go to Trentino in the next few days. Let's see. Of course, you have Musavi going from Piacenza to Fenerbahce. I mean, I think he is playing his last season as a pro volleyball player. And yes, this is the most interesting transfer, or at least rumors that we can discuss. I missed that Jan Kosameni will go from Milano to Aceko Resovia, so maybe this is still a relevant transition.
Yeah, and so just to end this discussion with another opposite playing, he played along for many years in Italy, Atanasievich, and now he's back to Skra, and also to Skra Bohatov, and also I'm very interested how things will end up for the next season for Rechličky, because he played very good, great, I would say, season for Luba, and now it's interesting where he's going to end up, because he needs to play, and it will be a shame if he's a substitute somewhere in the big teams.
Let's say that maybe, just maybe, Anderson has more money than Perugia can afford. Rilishki could be an option to Perugia. Or
the same with Modena, yeah.
Modena will have to choose. Okay, Nimir has better serve, but he lacks to, let's say, decision in the big matches, as we saw this season. You know that he couldn't pass the 40% in effectiveness. So I don't know. I think we can be underestimate Rilishki because he isn't a player that comes from a volleyball country. He is let's say in the past we saw many players to build just like him, like Igor Ormsen from Croatia, or maybe Walt Whiteman from Belgium. So this is
Marcus Nilsson also. I would say even though
even more rare, like Marcus Nilsson, of course, and he won the Champions League with Lokomotiv Novosibirsk. So yes, very rare players that come and make history. So I think Modena and Perugia have this option. I don't think Rilishki will have the need to leave Italy. I think he will have some offers. But again, you know that volleyball maybe sometimes is a unfair sport, and people get hired by the name and not by the performance of the pro volleyball. They also look more the international games than the pro games. So yeah, in some ways it's not unfair, but it is what it is.
Rich Click, rumor says that Ricicchi could also be an option for Trento if Nimir has been linked with almost any of the top 3 teams. So they thought that it depends on what Zaitsev wanted to do in Lube, if you want to be an opposite or not. And they one rumor said that they could swap the opposite between Lube and Trento, Ricicchi and Nimir. But I don't think that's a problem. You said, Ronnie, that Nimir is not maybe clutch in some points because, well, you got Gapé and Leal. You could set the ball to them rather than to Nimir. So it's probably Modena is probably the team who needs less an opposite that could score 30 points every game, and then we'll have the most important ball at the end of the set, so that they could hire him. And if they do, I don't know actually who will be the favorite next year.
It will be almost the same, or I think even more lower than when Lube bring Leal, Bruno, and
Sokolov.
And Simon. They have Sokolov already, and they have Torena. But this is the difference. Modena doesn't have anyone, so they will have to bring everyone again, like Bruno, like Ngape, Leal, and then maybe Nimir. I think that the best team in Lube Civitanova history was in fact that team from 2018-2019 that almost win everything. I think that if maybe wasn't Medei and the Georgie had the team in the beginning of the season, they will at least manage to win also the World Club Championship. But I don't think the Super Cup, because the Super Cup is and they came from the World Championship season, so it was hard to win by anyone. So. But this is an personal opinion that I have regarding the Lube Civitanova organization.
Okay, let's put the first stop here, and I believe that this was enough, and we mentioned a lot of topics today. So next podcast, probably, if we have enough topics to talk about before the VNL, before the start of the VNL. And I would like to thank you for being again that expert people for I don't know how many consecutive times. And for you, the listeners or the viewers of the podcast, thank you again for watching, and follow us in Twitter, Facebook, in Spotify, and I don't know where else also. And support us and watch us or listen to us also the next time too. Bye bye.
No,
Yeah?
first,
Okay.
let me say something. If you guys
Ah.
want to give us some tips about the next topic that we discuss here, like such as the common VNL that I know Nicola doesn't like, but still will watch because Italy is playing. Come on, and other topics regarding the Olympics and such like that. Maybe I don't know. This is more like not to be commented, but it will have interesting to see what is the best team that regarding our countries or any of you guys countries in the history, the best ones. We can do like rankings or such to to show people that it's not only World League, Olympics, and that there have been some players that they never make it into the national teams scenes, but they conquer things like I said before, Walt Whiteman, Igor Orsen, and many other players that have been forgotten through the years. So yes, thank you very much again for watch at this podcast. Follow all our pages, Paola Egonu on Facebook, Twitter, Cuban Spike. If you like our content, it's only in Spanish for now. Let's see in the future. And of course, our main orchestra director, Volleyball Explained, that support us with his knowledge. And yes, thank you very much in behalf of Volleyball Explained.
Thank you again. Bye bye.
Bye.